Jaiden Animation's Rule 34? That's fucking disgusting. Where?
Stop right there, criminal scum!
So after looking at my analytics, I've learned that only 80% of you who watch my videos are not subscribed.
You have no idea how not cool that shit is.
Now, funny enough, I actually do know where the majority of that came from. Mostly it came from my Xena Fixes art video. You know, I'm pretty sure the majority of you who watch my videos nowadays came from that one. But the majority of people who watched that video never subscribed. So if you're new to this channel, or if you've been following this channel wondering whether or not you should subscribe or not, because that's a sort of thing I actually do nowadays. I just stalk a content creator's YouTube channel, seeing if it's worth subscribing to or not. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Anyway, on to today's video. Hello everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood. I kind of wanted to wait to do this video because I didn't want to jump the gun before a formal response to it was made. But now that we have a recorded and written response, I can wholeheartedly make this video. So for those of you in the minority who don't know, Jaiden Animations is a popular storytime commentator who uses fluent hand-drawn animations to convey stories that she tells for her own life. So it's understandable that she's garnered a substantial fan base. And when you have such a large fan base, you're bound to attract some degenerates. Now, there's been a situation brewing behind the scenes and on the battlegrounds of Twitter between Rule34 artists and others over the creation of Rule34 using Jaiden Animation's avatar. Now, a lot of you are going to probably unsub for me for this, but I kind of side with the degenerates for this.
You what?
Now, hear me out. I do enjoy safe for work fan art that's made of her avatar, but I also do enjoy the not safe for work fan art that's being made of her avatar as well. Now, if someone were to Photoshop Jaden's real life face into a real nude model, then I'd have an issue, but seeing as it's drawn SFW of her persona, I really don't care or mind it. Now, there are people in her fan base who are understandably against this, and I don't fault them, but they've been going to harsh extremes to make that point known. Extremes such as harassing NSFW artists and making their own YouTube videos publicly condemning them for what they're doing. And in all honesty, that's counterproductive. If anything, it just grew interest for the Jaiden Rule 34. And honestly, that's how I found out about it, because other people were grandstanding on how they felt about it for, and I hate to be the person to say this, clicks and clout chasing.
Jaiden Animation's Rule 34? That's fucking disgusting. Where?
And I think it also should be pointed out that all of these videos do not include any form of response from Jaiden herself. Instead of letting her get the first word in edgewise, these fuckwads jump ship and run into the sunset, weaponizing a whole lot of idiots willing to harass artists making them. I was trying to avoid talking about it in order to avoid creating a mountain out of an anthill, but it started to become worse and worse thanks to those videos that she was cornered into giving a response when Anthony Padilla asked her about it in his show.
There's been rampant lewd and X-rated art created based on your character.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it is so rampant that there are videos out there of people saying, this is too much, this needs to stop. Have you ever talked about any of this?
No, I haven't. And people have thought that I have. There's rumors. People say she's said this or she said this, and it's like, you're all wrong. I haven't said anything, and you're crazy to think that I would.
Because like if you bring it up, then it draws more attention to it.
There's the people who know about it and are telling me to say something about it.
Yeah.
There's the people who are making it, who are aware of it, and then there's the general audience who doesn't know. So why would I talk about it and just make them aware of it? People are like, think that I have a choice on like, hey, let's take it all down. Right. It's like, that's not how it works. Would I encourage it? No. Do I want it? No. Do I have a choice? No. I've talked to like managers and people who like are connected to Google, and I've like, can we like do something? And they're like, let me check. And they'll come back to me and be like, nope. I wish that like children and my family members and all my friends can't find it immediately. I just wish that it wasn't so easily accessible. And the people who are making the videos really, they make me a little bit more upset because they're pretending to take the moral high ground on like, this is horrible.
Right.
When they're the ones who are really like profiting and benefiting. And you can't pretend to be the good person in this scenario. Like, to put it lightly, I don't really appreciate it.
So as you can plainly see, even Jaden herself is more upset about the people claiming to take the moral high ground and make videos about it, because in her words, they're making the situation worse than it has to be by telling everybody about it. And just recently, not even 24 hours ago actually, she put out a written statement on her Twitter account, and it reads, "My main problem with Rule 34 is that it's accessible to minors, which I'm actively trying to fix. Yes, I don't technically approve of Rule 34 drawing of the Jaden character, but it's not something I'm actively upset by. I understand it will exist and have moved on. I appreciate my followers being concerned over my well-being, but this isn't something you need to defend me on." I'm not saying I condone Rule 34. I also don't condone relentlessly harassing Rule 34 artists. Please stop attacking people on my behalf. As for the artists, I would just like you to uphold the respect and boundaries and try to keep it within your community. Overall, I just wanted to be ignored and everyone just to move on as I have. I hope everyone can respect that. This is honestly the best response anybody in her shoes could make. She didn't weaponize her fans or gaslight the Rule 34 artists. She honestly wants it not to be accessible to younger audiences. Which, Jaden, if you're watching this, there's nothing you, I, or anybody else can really do to control that. Ultimately up to the parents to watch what their fucking kids are looking up. There are so many NSFW accounts on Twitter that I've had to report because a minor was running them. So they'll even actively search for this shit. And sadly, thanks to these idiots, Jaden Rule 34 started to crop up in normal search images as well. While it's not as explicit as looking up Jenny from My Life's a Teenage Robot, I will still put the blame on this on the people making those godforsaken videos and tying Jaden's hands to make a response about it. And even after Jaden's response to Twitter, people are still trying to fit words in her mouth. Sarah Poto says, artists in the replies, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time reading all of that, but if you want to, I'll just pop the full thing on the screen and you can just pause and read it from there. Sketchy Rewind says, honestly, should have just put her fucking foot down, dude. Dak says, y'all deserve to go to hell for making NSFW of a real living person. Chloe says, this isn't it, Jaden. Don't be pushed over by a joke that probably originated on 4chan that made fun of how fucking nasty the internet is. Cease and desist like Aaron did. I don't know how this Aaron person is, but I'm pretty sure these are two very different situations. Bread says, now all of you horny fucks out there read this. Instead of filling your cum jars, go fill some bitches. Shiro says, Jaden said stop drawing porn of her multiple times and gross motherfuckers are turning a blind eye to her wishes. Yeah, and Noba says, here's her second and only response to the matter. Turns out you were wrong. And finally, Penny says, it's so fucking sad she's been pushed into a defeatist mindset of it's gonna happen anyway, might as well just let them do it. If you draw porn of non-consenting people, you deserve to be fucking harassed. Oh my fucking god. You get my fucking point. Even when Jaden herself gives a level-headed response telling people to stop getting upset on her behalf because she doesn't really care like that, people are going to try to twist the words or shove some hidden message in there just to justify them being retards. I think Spermo the Ghost outlined this the best. Legit what some people are seeing when they read this. And it says, my main problem with Rule 34 is that it's too accessible to minors, which I'm actively trying to fix. Yes, I don't approve of Rule 34 drawn of the Jaden character. It's something I'm actively upset by. I appreciate my followers being concerned over my well-being. This is something you need to defend me from. I'm not saying I condone Rule 34. I also condone relentlessly harassing Rule 34 artists. Please, attack people on my behalf. And for the artists, I would just like you to die. Overall, I just wanted to be ignored. I hope everyone can respect that. Yeah, it's honestly just a fucking mess that people are still willing to ignore her wishes and fit their own agenda in there. So, it's just fucking stupid. So anyway, if you guys like this video, subscribe or whatever, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. I'm still trying to do that fucking review. I think I'm going to take a break from commentary for a bit because all these fucking dramas are taxing. Anyway, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.